Hello everyone, and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today you join me at a beautiful early morning here at Vancouver Airport, and honestly I must apologize for the little biplane flying around outside my window and causing an absolute racket, but I have to have my windows open otherwise I'd boil. Anyway, we are in a rather special little plane today. We are in the PMDG 737-600 by WestJet, who was the biggest operator of the type, sadly retired their entire fleet of them back in 2021, with them being mostly sold off for parts and a couple going to the Canadian charter airline Aeroflyer. So yeah, you won't see these flying around anymore. They were mainly replaced by the 737 MAX, I believe, so a significant upgrade in terms of size. Yeah, the 737-600, very unusual little plane, that's for certain. So yeah, we are going to be flying this little chappy over to Calgary today. Also, if you see any little visual bugs, that is because I'm using lossless scaling to increase my frame rate. That's because my computer's not exactly the best in the world. So yeah, this Vancouver is actually freeware. You can find it over on flightsim.to. Oh my goodness. When I panned the camera up and down, those little struts there went absolutely mental. Anyway, so yeah, it's got a full interior and everything, which is pretty partial interior, but yeah, for a freeware project I'd consider this very neat. I'd consider this more than good enough, if I'm being honest. So yeah, let's go back and enter the cockpit of our little 737. So yeah, this delivery is off of the PMDG Operations Center, if you were wondering. First off, ground operations, passenger entry is going to be by jetway today, and I am going to request that jetway, and I'm also going to request the ground power for today's run. There we go, stairs retracting, lovely jubbly. This aircraft is at the moment not compatible with Flight Sim 2024. I mean, if you finagle the files, it is technically compatible with Flight Sim 24, but yeah, it's not really compatible just yet. It is going to be a payware upgrade to 2024, but Robert Randazzo, the guy at PMDG, has said that's only going to be around $5 per variant. So, which is more than fair considering how big of a rework the 737 is going to need. So yeah, let's get things started up right here. Cross feed on, ground power and battery on. Galley is already on by default. Let's turn the panel brightness up. Yeah, so let's get since we're in Canada, it's probably not too warm, so let's get all of these on. Yeah, one thing I do like about the 737 lineup is it's just a lot more hands-on than the Airbuses. I know some pilots prefer automation, but I do like having something where you have to manually press a lot of things in order to get it to run, and I just think that's cool, if I'm being honest. Is there anything that I need to do at the moment? I don't think so. So yeah, we can get to starting to plan the SimBrief flight plan for the day. SimBrief dispatch firing up over here. I do love having SimBrief directly integrated into the sim. That's awesome. Airline will be WJA. Our flight is WJA 730. Our departure is Vancouver, which I can't. Vancouver. So yeah, I've done my research, and this is like this is a real 737-600 sector that they did back in the day. So alternate will be auto. Aircraft type will be 737-600. There it is. Nice. Airframe will be economy configuration, of course. Let's take on some extra fuel. I usually like to take 15% extra. Come on, mouse, stop. My mouse is gradually dying, so... what's the registration for... I need to... reset position. There we go. CGPWS. Charlie Golf Papa Whiskey Sierra. So it Charlie Golf Papa Whiskey Sierra. No fin number as far as I know. Oh, I should. You're probably yelling at my screen like, you're not supposed to put the airline ICAO there. Forgot that wasn't a thing. IFR. Block time 1 hour 35 minutes. Departure runway 08 right, arriving 35 left. Sorry, right. Passengers auto, freight auto. And I believe that's it. 400 nautical miles. Generating flight plan. Alright, IRS has finished aligning. There we go. So I'll just stick SimBrief dispatch like up here. Because enter IRS position. Yeah, I was thinking it was time for that. PMDG setup, I don't think we need. FS actions. Also cruise. Pause at top of descent. Time compression. That's new. I don't remember the 737 lineup having auto cruise before. No, that's not it. It's in the FMC section, you dummy. Nav data out of date. I don't care. I don't want to pay Navigraph. What is it? €10 a month for charts? That just seems a bit redonkulous, if you ask me. Reference airport is, I think it's Charlie Yankee Yankee Zulu. No, it's Charlie Yankee Victor Romeo. Charlie Yankee Victor Romeo. Please, let me put that in. Is that the... Did I get that right? Yeah, I did get that right. Oh well. Set IRS position. Valid entry. Last position, I'll just put that in. What's our gate? Yeah, gate is... I actually don't know. Let's have a look. Remember which... What gate is this? Does it say on the ground? Yeah, I think it... Oh, it's gate 18, I think. Yeah, gate 18. There we go. Yeah, it's gate 18. So, it's gate 18. There we go, and it's gate 18. There we go. That works. our... So I now need to get the SimBrief flight plan loaded. No, that's ground unit. Auto cruise, we don't need that. It's the EFB, isn't it? Request data from SimBrief. There we go. That's all our details. Navigraph charts, we don't need those. Weather source is simulator. On-screen keyboard is off. Altitude in feet. There we go. So I think we've got that loaded in. And let's go over to the performance tool. Import. Runway ID is 108 right, I think? Yeah, it's 08 right. Import. And import weather and calculate. So I'll keep those there for now. Let's go back. Go to route. Flight plan request. Invalid entry, excuse me. SimBrief route. There we go. Set payload. Set fuel. Select route. There we go. Runway is 08 right for today's takeoff. Let's have a look at the legs. Route uplink ready. What does that mean? Load. Route uplink. Okay. So now it should be loading it in. And activate. And execute. Performance initialization. Performance initialization request. Does that work? So it's ground weight. Zero fuel weight today is... Whoa, we'll be cruising at flight level 410. I didn't even know the 737-600 was capable of that. That's pretty cool. Flight level 410 for such a short flight is actually pretty high. Like, fair play. Zero fuel weight is 48315. Is... Keep forgetting. 48.3. 48.3, and put that in. Performance initialization uplink ready. Okay. Load it. There we go. So now we've got all the stuff in, and execute that. Lovely jubbly. So climb. Cruise altitude, flight level 390. Wait a minute, I thought you said this is flight level 410. I think I need to change that. 410, and put that in, and execute. So target speed will be 271 knots, or 0.77 Mach. Let's have a look at the... Yeah, that's the cruise. Destination. No, not you. Let's have a look at the legs. Departure and arrival. So departure from you. So it'll be 08 right. Does it say what departure I use in SimBrief plan? No, it does not. Okay. 5, no transition. Execute that. Then go to... No. You, and then I need to do arrival into Calgary. I'm guessing it'll be an... I'll do an ILS approach to 35 right, if that's possible. ILS to 35 right. There it is. And then ground speed on. Let's do U. Position, U transition. There we go. So now if we have a look there. So yeah, let's just make sure there are no route discontinuities. There we go. We've also got a hold programmed in just in case we have a missed approach. Lovely. So if we have a hold, yeah. N1. Okay, I want to do. Where's the performance page? No, route. Takeoff. Flaps will be. Does it say what flaps notch will need in SimBrief? Let's just go for 0.5 since we do have quite a bit of runway to work with. Oh, and then so it's 116, 117, 127. Nope, that's so it's 134, 135, 140. 134, 135, 140, and I think that's correct. 134, 135, 130. Yep, that's correct. There we go. We have all of those inputted. So I think we now have the entire flight planned. Alright. So they've probably... is there anything that I need to do? I probably need to pull the parking brake. So altitude, so V2 is 140, so I better program that in. Let's get the flight directives on. And on. 140. 140. Heading. Probably want weather radar. Actually, probably terrain, since we don't have any major weather in the area. Terrain radar. Let's change the mode. Yeah, look at that. We've got some pretty not that good terrain. Let's go to plan mode. So approximate. So let's change the heading to approximately 105 degrees seems to be good. Yeah, so I think we're all just about ready to push back and start here. Oh, I do need to get the APU running. APU. So I need this fuel pump to come on. Let's get the logo on. I honestly forgot to put the lights on. That's funny. But I think nav lights are on by standard in these things. So APU, so PACs off. Actually no, I can keep PACs on for now. So fasten seatbelts on. There you go. And let's get the APU on if I can actually find a switch to turn it on. There it is. And there we go. APU should be coming on now. Yeah, there we go. Let's go to ground operations. Let's release the jetway. Please. There we go. Ground service vehicles. There's none here, but I'll just hit release all. Let's just make sure all doors are closed. And let's just make sure all of these are working. This is my first flight since I reset my computer, so the 737 we have is in tip-top condition. Alright, there we go. APU is turned on, I think. Yeah, APU is on. So let's get APU gen on. Ground power can come off. So that means I need to move you over to APU. Alright. Packs are running. Air conditioning is up and running. I forgot to arm the emergency exit lights. There we go. Those are armed. I think we're just about ready for the push and start. So, sim brief can go away for now. I might need it later. So, 08 right. We do have a bit of a taxi if we want to get there, but hey, that's just... Yeah, whoa, we are basically dead on sea level. That's a bit nuts, if I'm being honest. So I can release ground power. Please. Thank you. And let's just make sure parking brake is set, which it is. Just adjust the trim. Just adjust the trim. Oh, and I should probably adjust this so it actually shows what flight we're doing. There we go. So it shows flight 730, which is our flight for today. Let's release the chocks. There we go. Let's put the... No, wrong way. Trim this way. Come on, I need to trim you out so it's not... So we don't... So it's not so extreme. And let's just keep trimming her out. Oh, while we're doing this, I should probably use Aerosoft Toolbar Pushback Pro to connect the tug.
Cockpit to ground.
There we go. Oh my goodness. So I'll probably want to push to this. So taking a quick look at Volanta. Yeah, we are going to need to push back toward the south. Alright.
Okay, sir. The bypass seal is installed, and all doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brakes set, lifting the aircraft.
Ooh, nice. Nose wheel lift.
Standing by for pushback.
Alright, let's plan to push back. So I need to push to my right. So, come on. Load. There we go. Ah, no, you don't. Oh my goodness, my mouse has really had it. Oh my goodness. Let's just line it up, and there we go. And let's get the lights on that we need. Get those fuel pumps on. Let's prepare for Anti-collision light on. Right. I should probably packs come off for the start. I always forget to do that, so that's a right, let's start pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
Let's release parking brake.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for start and push.
Let's also get anti-skid on, auto brake on RTO.
Please release parking brakes.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback, you can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Alright, so pushback is starting. Let's give engine number 1 some juice, and let's try and find out where on earth that little engine start switch is. Now there it is. So starting engine number 1. Alright. Alright. Toolbar, so I think we're
Okay, pushback completed.
pushback
Please set
complete.
your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake set, lowering the aircraft.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Alright.
Okay, sir, clear to disconnect. Pin has been removed. See you at the site. Have a good flight.
Goodbye, sir. See you later.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Right, let's give engine number 2 some welly and ignition select to both and start up engine number 2. And let's also get the flaps set, so it's 1, 2, 5, 2, 5, there we go. Alright, engine number 2 is starting. Alright. Let's set the speed brakes to... Can I... Is there an armed position? No, I don't think so. Let's go Gen 1 on. There we go. Let's get thrust. Make sure. Let's also arm the auto throttle. Alright, okay, so altitude, let's set you to flight level 410. Just quickly scroll through. There we go. Flight level 410 set. Yeah, let's get engine number 2 generator on. And let's get the APU off. Let's get the galley power over to Gen 1. And the packs back on. And the APU bleed off. There we go. Let's also get the... Let's get the taxis on. There we go. Hang on. There we go. My Volanta was empty, so you probably have been seeing something. Hang on. Okay, lots of scaling is still working. That's good. Parking brake disconnected. Let's give it some juice. Oh man, the sounds on the PMDG are 737 have always been really good. Like, I don't really get why Boris Audio Works made a pack for this thing, that for 737NG audio pack for this thing, because in my opinion I've ridden on an NG quite a few times and it's never really like, the sounds have always been really decent. We're actually below sea level according to the barometer. According to my altimeter, I should say. Come on, buddy, turn. Which way do I go? So I turn right onto the hotel taxiway. Sorry if if the rudder appears a bit jiggly, but doing it on a controller is not easy. Okay, so I take the next left. Alright. Oh, no. It's so easy to engage reverse thrust on... Okay. Active runway. Stop. There we go. Let's go and get the strobes on. Show that we're crossing an active runway. Forgot to redo these engine things. So I need to cross, what is this runway? It's not labeled. Oh well. So yeah, I need to head all the way along taxiway Lima until I reach the runway. Alright, crossing active runway. real pity that WestJet doesn't use these anymore. Crossing runway 31. But the throttle has to be done with the A and B buttons on my Xbox controller, and not having a throttle slider and being able to feel where your throttle is and not accidentally engaging reverse thrust is an absolute pain in the rear end. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Like, I pity the poor console people who have to put up with this. I know there's like flight joysticks that are like for specifically Xbox compatible, but I pity the poor people who can't afford that and have to do it on a controller. Let's turn down the range on the EFIS. Actually, I'm probably on 20 miles anyway. Zoom out a bit. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful little plane the 737-600 is. I love how it's so stubby, it reminds me of the 737 Jurassics, like the 200, the 100, was there a 300? I think there was a 300. Like, yeah, and like the 737-200, the 737-600 isn't really in use with commercial airlines anymore. It's actually mainly in use with specialist operators, most notably Janet Airlines, which is a U.S. military airline, and it does flights like out to the notorious Area 51. All right, 08 right. Let's just make sure everything is running. Let's just make sure I've got all of the things on. So let's get the runway turn-off lights on. Taxi light can stay on for now. Strobe light can stay on. And yeah, there we go. I think we're ready for takeoff. Unless there's something which I forgot. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think we're good. This little beggar does really require quite a bit of thrust, doesn't it? Alright, coming onto runway 08 right. Here we go. Lining up on runway 08 right. Alright, let's get ready. Brakes. Alright, auto throttle arm. Let's get the taxi lights off, please. Taxi lights off. There we go. And where's the toga button? I think this is the toga button. Yeah, that's the toga button. And let's... Alright, press the button. Here we go. And she's off. $80 knots. V1. Rotating.
How's it ready to climb?
Gear is coming up. Whoa, okay, that's a bit too steep of a climb there, you little guy. Let's hit the speed button, please. Let's get the autopilot on. There we go. Let's also get speed going. Let's go heading select mode so we can, let's go, and LNAV mode engaged. N1 is set. Coming out over the Vancouver suburb of Richmond now. My goodness, this little thing is climbing quickly. Let's get the vertical speed on. Let's go. Oh crap. Alright, nose down, nose down, nose down. Just got a stall warning. Everything's fine. Vertical speed mode. Let's go back up. Let's go to 1,500 feet per minute up. Come on, buddy. Up. Whoa, 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 whoa. We recovered from that stall pretty nicely, I gotta say. Nope, we're 2,000 feet per minute. It's too steep. We're losing speed. 1,500 feet per minute. Whoa. Why are we climbing at 7,800 feet? Okay, that's not good, not good, not good, not good. Why are you climbing so much? Why are you climbing so much? Autopilot. Vertical speed mode. Down. Why was it climbing at 7,800 feet per minute? That is nuts. Alright, that's 6,800 feet per minute. Not feet per minute, feet. I forgot to turn the landing lights on. Well, better late than never. There we go. Oh, and I should probably put these in flight mode. Position light to steady. There we go. Gorgeous clouds this morning. Absolutely gorgeous. Alright, there we go. Yeah, apart from that slight skill issue, we are climbing nicely. Hang on, I think I've programmed my flight slightly wrong. Let's go legs. Execute. There we go. It's alright. Let's get radar on for now. $9,300 feet. 9,300 feet. All right. Well, bird's ticking along nicely. Oh, yaw damper. Probably should get that on. And there we go. Yeah, I think everything's going absolutely tickety-boo. Oh, what a magnificent bird the 737-600 is. Get camera. Showcase. Oh. I left my showcase camera behind in Vancouver. That's pretty funny. Let's get a good screenshot while we're here. Let's go this way. There we go. Screenshot taken. Alright, we're past 10,000 feet, so... Nope. Landing lights. off, please. Yeah, it said my cruising speed was 277 knots. Or Mach 2.7, Mach 1.0.77. What am I saying? So let's go back to menu. Let's get the 271 programmed in. Well, that was a bit too much. There we go. Oh, no, too much. There we go. Right. Yeah, the 737-600, because it's so because it's got the engines designed for a much bigger plane. It does have quite as it is quite quick. So Alright, so I am going to stop the recording here, so you guys don't get bored by the cruise, and I will see you at our top of descent. Alright, and we are at the top of descent, and the reason you're not hearing any sound is because I had pause at top of descent activated, because, yeah, we are now about we're just a few miles out from the top of descent, so I will unpause you. Hang on. How to unpause a PMDG aircraft paused. Okay. I'm having to look this up because I've never done this before. No, that's not it. You'll need to use a specific keybind. Oh, lovely. So right, I need to go to the settings. Settings. Pause. So if I just search pause. No, where would it be? Would it be in like miscellaneous? No, it wouldn't. Accessibility. Is it because active pause is on? No, that's not it. No, that's not it either. What? I'm so confused. Need to go to controls and type and pause and then set pause off. Okay. So I need to go to controls, keyboard, pause, set pause off is escape. Toggle active pause is the... Okay. That's a bit better, but I don't have any sound. What's going on here? Alright, I need to set the descent anyway, so vertical... Let's set the altitude to 3,000? 5,000. I'm not getting any engine audio, but I can still hear the vertical speed down. Let's go 2,100 feet per minute. Let's go. No, you. I want you. There we go. Come on, is there any external audio? Okay, okay, there we go. Audio is back. I've never used the pause at top of descent feature before, but I had to because, well, I had to have my cup of tea and a donut, so... Let's set the speed to 200 so we can have a bit of time to descend. If anything, speed's increasing. What the... My spoiler lever just disappeared. Set spoiler. Oh, that seems to be my autopilot button. What? Hang on, I need to go to controls and controller and search by input U. Oh. Clear current input. Spoilers. Toggle spoilers. Let's do you. Use somewhere else. Yes, I want to do that. Apply and save. There we go. Toggling spoilers. Oh, vertical speed is not working. Let's descend a... Yeah, weather has significantly cleared up a bit, so... yeah, it's pretty clear over Calgary today, if I'm being honest. And I am using live weather at time before you say anything. Yeah, it's a pretty barren landscape, mostly mountains or agriculture. And if my voice has been sounding sideways, that's because my mic was sideways. That's pretty funny. Let's see. Spoilers are set. Let's get the seatbelt sign on. When we're at 10,000 feet, I'll also turn the APU on, so we have that available when we get down. Because I think like the maximum APU altitude is like 20,000 feet, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. Come on, buddy. Down we go. I want to have as much time as possible for the descent. So, I want to find out what the altitude of Calgary Airport is above land. So if I click, come on, click to view airport. Oh well. Yep. Reducing range on the EFIS. There we go. So yeah, SimBrief recommended a 2,000 feet per minute descent. I'm going for 2,100 just so we have a bit of extra margin. I do like to have a bit of extra margin when it comes to these things because for some approaches and landings always make me incredibly nervous for some reason. Hopefully today isn't one of those days where things go wrong. Let me see. So packs are still on. Lovely. The old damper is on. Yeah, I think we're all clear. I think we're clear for the approach for now. I've got an idea. No. Oh, what? Okay, that's annoying. Okay, I think I may have to hold for a minute because I think I programmed the approach wrong. I think I got the wrong approach. There's the runway. I don't think I've got enough time to lose 30,000 feet in that little amount of time. So, where's the hold? Is there a hold? What do do hold. Here we go. Fix. At Sickney. So if I SIKNI Sickney. Hold at Sickney. Check. And put that in. Alright, we've got the hold programmed. Let's lose some altitude. Let's go 1700 because I am losing speed. Go. We're in the hold. Yeah. My approach would have had us going far, far out of the way, and I didn't want to do that, so I just programmed in the hold for now. I can actually afford to increase speed a bit to like 220 seems to be reasonable. Release spoilers. Dang it. Didn't realize we had to hold. Should have programmed this better. But that just shows you how much I'm out of practice. I haven't done this in months. Good thing I programmed in some extra fuel. That could have been bad. Oh, that's not bad. Where is Calgary Airport? There it is. So yeah, we have to descend quite a bit before we can get there. Let's just check to see if OBS is recording. Hopefully it is. Down we go. This is very flat, I must say. Calgary is very, very flat. Oh, I need to put spoilers in. There we go. Yeah, we are overspeeding considerably. Anything I need to do? Don't think so. I don't think we need anti-ice. It's probably more than warm enough. And then once we get out of this hold, yeah, we could just hit exit hold, and then yeah. Our speed target's actually 196 knots according to this, so I think I'll, yeah. Oh dear. So yeah, the Sickney waypoint, which we're orbiting around, is actually directly before the runway. So huh? No. $15,000 feet. There's the airport. What is it doing? Coach Reeve. Let's get another hold going. S Oh no. I just got an insufficient fuel warning. How much fuel have I got? Oh no. Where is that? I've only got 3.4 tons left. Oh no. That's not good at all. No, I want you. Let's go legs. $823 miles to no. LNAV. This is all going to heading select on. There we go. 10,000 feet. Landing lights. Turn off lights. Strobes. There we go. I programmed it to fly with the wrong waypoint. Oh, come on. A rifle. I've got an idea. ILS-35 right. On. Now go to legs. Yeah, I programmed in the wrong waypoint. There we go. I'm doing this so well. 3.4 tons left of fuel left. LNAV on. Oh, I should probably get the APU on. APU online. Oh, I'm doing this. I'm astounding myself at how badly I'm doing this. Oh my goodness. Let's get down to 180 and then take the first notch of flaps. First notch of flaps coming in. Gear is coming down. I've got enough fuel for this. Just need to keep it together. There is the airport. We'll turn it on to final and then it'll be like basically a landing just directly. There we go. Hopefully I can butter this like I did my last PMDG 737 landing. Alright. I'm now in control of the altitude. Here we go. Short final into Calgary. Oh, dang it. Oh, goodness. Ah! Alright. Shut up. I know what I'm doing. I'll just... Yeah, this is a bit of a steep final approach, I gotta admit. But...
Sync rate.
Shush.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Pull up.
Shush. Everything's going fine.
Pull up.
Everything's going
Too low,
fine.
Flaps. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Flaps.
There we go.
Too low. Flaps.
Hey, Ryanair.
30.
Right, down, down, get down. I've used up too much runway.
20.
Oh boy. Crap. Why is my thrust increasing? Why have I got auto throttle armed? Ah. Goodness gracious, what an atrocious landing. Reverse thrust on. Okay. What an atrociously handled landing. There we go. I need to find a taxiway to come off on. Oh my goodness, I just used that entire runway. Okay, there is a taxiway coming up. So I will... There we go. Here we go. Welcome to Calgary after a rather badly handled approach and landing, I gotta admit. I think the plane tipped sideways while I was doing that landing. After it was on the ground. That's nuts. Right, there's the terminal building over there. I forgot to set auto brake to max. That's probably one reason why. Oh, I just put the gear up. Wrong button. That's it. Dies. There we go. Let's get all these lights. Tracked landing lights, please. Thank you. Off. There we go. So 294 feet per minute. Not my best, but I will take that. Good thing the runway was longer. I'd have definitely overrun. I just continue along this taxiway for a bit. I should probably switch you over to APU. The yaw damper can come off. Anti-ice was already off. Flight controls. I know it's the default Calgary, but there you go. There we go. Switched to APU power. Stop engaging reverse thrust. Alright, I'll take the next right-hand taxiway. Alright. Next right-hand taxiway coming up. $3,500. Oh, I forgot to put you back. Uh-oh. What? Sorry about all the talking in the background. Let's go over to one of those gates. There we go. The taxiway line for the gate. Oh, that's funny. There's a tree in the tub. Oh, come on. I went too far. stop, parking brake. Just make sure, like, let's go have APU bleed taken on for the packs, so we can keep those on. De-align the navs. Seatbelt signs off. There we go. All 3 fuel pumps on, and engines off. Engines switching off. Let's get the position lights off, anti-collision lights off, wing lights off. Actually, no, I need to keep position lights on. Actually, let's get the jetway requested. Setting chocks. Please, let me set the chocks. There we go. Release the parking brake, because we don't need to worry about it anymore. There we go. Parking brake released. Jetway connection. Ground power. Engines off. And let's get ground power on. Ground power on. APU generators off. Set you to ground power. And take the APU off. Taxi lights off. There we go. And let's get the packs off. Alright, the jetway appears to be slightly broken, but there we go. So yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to scream at me down in the comments about how I could have pulled that approach and landing off better. I know, it's probably... I know I could have done that better, but I'm out of practice, okay? So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, and thank you so much for watching.